Just want to update people on how this book is going, and it ain't fucking well. So, Tom Taylor, writer, gay Superman, John Kent. Remember that was that instance where that 1 month, I guess, there was a hiccup and they didn't put out, I can't remember which issue. It was an issue that didn't go out, right? And YouTubers, came out and other people came out and said, oh, well, it fell off the charts, right? Even though I believe they put out an annual that month that wasn't really on there. The charts, the initial charts, those, it was NBD book scans of all of those participating stores were, it showed that it fell off a cliff, but the whole argument was, well, they didn't put out a book. Then the next month came out, we covered it. Same numbers. He had no problem referencing Tom Taylor before, like, we were doing well before. Or rather, oh, well, it's not on there because, well, we didn't put out a book, you idiots. Then he puts out another book and, well, bam, that didn't do so well, and it was very low on the charts. Now it looks like it's fell completely off the fucking charts. Now, Tom Taylor tried to salvage that before when it went down very low. Well, it fell off. He tried to say, well, it's because, these numbers aren't accurate and all of that. Again, he had no problem referencing them before. Bounding in the Comics, my man's John F. Trent has covered it. Tom Taylor says DC Comics writer Tom Taylor, gay Superman book, Superman Son of Kal-El, completely fell out of the top 50 charts in the month of February. Now remember, this is this guy. He said, wait, issue 6 didn't even appear in the December sales? What? Remember just trying to say that, oh, look, it didn't come out, you idiots. Why would it appear on the sales? As a homicide, basically. And then the next one, as documented here by ICV2 chart, they said the unit and dollar sales rankings. Says Taylor even bragged about how the fact that it was in the top 10 as part of the thread writing on Twitter. Says, now this is pretty confusing. I don't believe a story's worth is measured by its sales, but our Superman is selling pretty well. Issue 5 is where John Kent comes out as bisexual, made the top 10 for the sales in November. Okay, that was what I was saying earlier. He had no problem referencing it before, right? It made the top 10 because he's kissing up on dudes. All right, whatever. Or rather that he is. Audience loves this, right? However, getting back to the Taylor's Gaffe, the book issue didn't release until January, so it wouldn't be on the December sales chart, as mentioned before. So we go into it. When the book issue did come out, it was at the bottom of the charts. We mentioned this. On the dollars chart, it was 50th. It was 42nd on the unit chart. So it went from that top 10 to the fucking 42nd book on the next issue. And now, as being reported here, and he wrote, well, rather, the people oddly obsessed with our Superman sales are misinterpreted things using a chart with only 100 plus comic stores. Remember, he had no problem referencing the sales when they were in the top 10. Now that it's not in the top 10, wait a minute, it's something's funky with the numbers. These are the same chart, man. It's the same 100 plus stores. Nevertheless, this data point seemingly indicated that Taylor and DC's Comics editorial decision to make Superman gay was one and done gimmick, and that it might have actually driven away readers from it. Despite the book falling out of the top 50 completely, Taylor is still playing games, claiming that the series is doing well. They're trying to speak it into existence. And yeah, this is what they do all the time. Well, Amazon is Amazon, bro. That's not necessarily like, and anybody can end up on that bitch. Definitely if it's like a signal boost, you can run to number 1 and fall right out of the bitch. Same happens kind of in the music space as well. We've seen that. It's not even first in the category. As of them writing it, it's currently 8th. But on that list, it's fell completely out of the top 50. And you can point to all of these reviews and all of this shit, and it won't change anything. And this review says it only has 8 critic reviews, by the way. So Tom Taylor, look, he's defensive. And I'm going to give him, I guess he wrote it. He has every right to be defensive of the project that he wrote. But let's not be delusional here. As documented here, and let me get the actual statement where they mention it. That assumption got another piece of evidence this month that Son of Kal-El, number 8, did not even show up. So we 3 issues removed from issue 8, and it is not in the top 50, not in units and not in sales. It's not there. Now, yes, there's other books that are going to come out that you're going to be generally competing with. The bottom line is that the actual comic book writers have rejected this. We've seen this before. This isn't anything that started with Tom Taylor. He ain't going to be the last one. It's like, these guys write books for headlines, write books for customers that don't exist, Twitter normies and what have you. They don't actually write books for your everyday or every Wednesday going supporter of your general comic book. They don't write those stories for them. So they write them for their peers, essentially, people to pat them on the back. But they don't write them for actual customers. Let's say that. So, here we go. And it is what it is. If you are a comic book creator in this space, and I don't know how much, well, let me say this. Marvel and DC is going to be in a decent spot because they got merchandise. They got all of the other stuff that can, I guess, they subsidize it. It's basically a write-off at this point. But a lot of these books are in the red, and you know it, I know it, we all know it. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.